Hi, Amanda. Welcome to the interview today. I'm Nick for those that are new here and for those that are coming back. And today we're going to be having a real estate discussion with Amanda, who's the seller of a property in Buffalo at 359 Lafayette Avenue. We were lucky enough to be representing Amanda on her purchase, and lucky enough that she called back when it was time to sell. And we're going to kind of have a discussion around just getting Amanda back in that mindset of buying the house and then what it was like to own the house. And then we're going to give her the floor to talk to anybody who might be interested in the home about why she's selling it, which is something that all buyers are curious about. So, Amanda, just to kick things off, if you could start with what's your name? How old were you when you bought the house? Where you were living at the time prior to buying 359 Lafayette? Were you renting? Were you owning? What you were doing for work at that time? And just give people some context about who you are and why you bought 359.
My name is Amanda Schoen. I bought the house when I was 29. I had moved back to Buffalo after living in Denver for 2.5 years, and I had loved living in the West Side when I was in my early 20s, and really wanted to find a duplex in the West Side to buy and renovate and live in. Um, uh, I was working as a architectural designer at Wendell at the time that I bought the house, and I had actually been in the market for probably 9 months before I decided on this house. I was very, very picky. I looked at so many. I was not going to just buy like a someone's flip, um, and I really was looking for something specific. When I found 359, I knew it was special immediately. Um, there are so many original features, like beautiful original woodwork, inlays in the floors. I knew that um, I would be so happy to be in the house, that anyone who rented from me would enjoy it also. It's so close to the Elmwood Village, it's close to Grant Street, it's close to Allentown. If you want uh, like an enjoyable experience and to be in the city in Buffalo, 359 is a perfect place.
Awesome intro. And coming with your background as an interior architect designer to buying this house, like you could tell just from walking through those front doors why you picked this one. It was special. Do you remember how many houses you went and saw, like through private showings, and how many houses you made offers on while you were looking for a home?
I think actually 359 was the only one I made a real offer on. When I saw it, I knew that it was the one. Did a lot of walkthroughs of different houses, but nothing. There were, maybe like one or two that were interesting options, besides 359, but uh, I ended up with 359. There were a couple 3 units that I looked at, um, but 359 was literally perfect. I probably looked at maybe 15 other houses, like maybe 10 to 15.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad back in the day. This was back in 2021, and
Yeah.
like kudos to you for going on this home buyer journey as someone who was moving back to Buffalo and looking for a place to live. Like, uh, it's not easy to buy a house. And my next question is like closing day after all the paperwork, the bank conditions, what probably felt like signing your life away. Uh, Day one, having the keys, being in that new house, how did you feel as a first time home buyer?
I felt elated to finally, have my dream home. It was literally my dream. It's across from Lafayette High School, which is like the second most like historic and old classical piece of Victorian architecture, as far as like high schools would go. You feel like you are in, Europe when you are looking out from the balcony on the second story. Um, it's like it feels like you are uh, um, you feel like you are in a very charming place when you're at 359. It's the perfect place to go, sit and look out and see people walking around with strollers, people walking their dogs. The neighbors are so friendly. Um, it's like a good community in that area. A lot of artists, like a lot of young professionals. Um, I felt like that was an ideal place for me to be, when I bought the house. And I felt, you know, so happy with my decision. Um, and I love the house. If things were going differently for me, I would stay there forever. But I think for where I am in my life right now, it's time to uh, let go of the house and let someone else really enjoy it.
Yeah, we talked about some of those awesome finishes. Like there's some homes that just have that it factor. And it starts with like things that you can't change. Location, which you touched on, it's just extremely central, extremely walkable. The size of the home, it's just under 3,200 square feet. The oak floors, the inlays, the mantles, the ceramic tile on the fireplaces, the pocket doors, the unpainted woodwork. But I think I remember.
And the size of the bedrooms. The bedrooms are huge, like, and that is very hard to find in the West Side. I looked at so many houses where the bedrooms were like not even big enough to have a queen bed. Most houses that I saw, they had like a couple small bedrooms, combined to be the size of like a normal modern bedroom. Um, you know, a lot of houses in the West Side are sort of chopped up, but the original floor plan is basically intact. Um, it was definitely, I think, converted into a duplex, um, but like the layout works. The layout works for two separate units. Um, there's also, like the swing door on the first floor. Actually, it's the swing door on the second floor. The what was a swing door on the first floor was closed in, but the swing door is in the basement and could be put back in. Um, yeah, and a lot of uh, uh, like a lot of the trim I had duplicated, so there is extra trim in the basement to um, like add add that swing door back in.
Talk to us about the renovation process. Did you have like the right plan going into closing when you what you wanted to do to the home and how that process was executed?
Um, so when I first got into the house and got to look around, I had taken the house over from a guy who was going through a divorce. He was like a bachelor, had renovated the upstairs kitchen to be like 1950s style. Um, the first floor had a tenant in it already, and she'd probably been there for 7 years, and the house on that floor was not updated at all in that time. Um, there were like some drop ceilings in the upstairs kitchen. I had that taken out, and I had a hard lid ceiling put in. The same for the downstairs kitchen. I really also wanted there to be like modern lighting. Um, there is plaster and lathe walls. I could have taken out all the plaster and lathe and put up gyp, but it would have been a lot more than I was prepared to uh, do at that time. So a lot of gas lights were replaced with light boxes and uh, modern lights. Some have pull lights, but others are connected to push button lights. Um, I wanted to keep as many of the tiny details, like as true to the original uh, as possible. There's also like the original registers. Uh, I had a lot of those sandblasted and powder coated, then put back in. They had a lot of them had like caked on, caked on paint from like multiple attempts at painting. Um, I wanted to just bring the home as close to uh, like the original um, sort of design, but with more modern cleanness.
Yeah, and you executed that really well. And also, I love the contractor terms that you're using, gyp and plaster and lathe. Um, you did a great job with this property. It sounds like it was more of a restoration than a renovation, but you did,
Yeah,
do a lot of really good work, especially in the kitchens, to modernize them and bring them up to today's standard.
right.
Um, any pain points with the renovation that you could remember, things that stuck out, some advice for maybe another first time home buyer who's thinking about purchasing a home, things to look for, maybe avoid while breaking a house and redoing it?
So the upstairs has like a sort of fourth bedroom that was converted into an in-unit laundry. Um, one thing I and it does have like original wood in there. I personally, I think if the person who buys the house wants to keep it, um, like keep the laundry in that room, I would tile the floor. There is also a bay window uh, from that laundry room. I would replace that bay window um, with like an original wood window or a new vinyl window for sure. That was put in by the last owner, and I did not approve.
Okay, that wasn't your design call, that back window. What about the central air conditioning? You don't find many duplexes in Buffalo that, let alone one unit, has central air, but both of them.
Yeah,
What a great bonus for someone who's going to live there or rent it, to be able to rent it with full air conditioning.
yeah, that was almost a like a necessity. Um, like the wood will expand in the summer because of the heat, which can make the doors stick. It can be oppressively hot, so air conditioning became like a necessity. And yeah, it's both floors. It's a huge bonus. It makes living in a Victorian home much more like livable.
The um, the last question I have for you today is, we've been doing real estate for over a decade, more specifically 13 years. Every time we list a house, buyers are just so curious on why is the seller selling. So this is your opportunity to tell the world why you've chosen to part ways with 359 after expressing so much love for the property, the neighborhood, and the purchase that you made.
Um, So when I bought the house, I was in a very different place in my life, and it was my dream to live in a house on the west side, renovate it, and give it as much like love and care as I possibly could. But uh, earlier this year, actually end of last year, I made a decision to uh, so I took a trip to Thailand at the end of last year, and I was in Thailand for 3 months, and it changed my life. Um, I went to train Muay Thai for 3 months at a gym called Hong Kong, and I did 3 Muay Thai fights. And my time in Thailand has taught me that there are places that would be better for me than Buffalo. And as much as I love the house, as much effort that I've put into the house, it is it's a huge asset. It's a huge asset, but a lot of my but I want to use that asset or use my money differently. I want to invest it differently. I want to leave the area. I would prefer to take the cash and invest it in a different way.
All right, so it's time to cash in, but a lot of blood, sweat, and tears through this entire process, starting back from searching for the home, finding it in 2021, and now getting the opportunity to liquidate it. As your broker of this transaction, our goal is always to price the house in a way that we get 20 private showings, 20 groups through the open house, and that you get at least 5 written offers to choose from when making that decision on who to sell your home to. So at the price that we're planning to launch it at, we're very confident that we're going to get those results and that you're going to be triumphant in your victory from moving back to Buffalo, purchasing this property, going through the journey of buying, owning, renovating a home, and now cashing in, and time to get that bag.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.